Good morning. Welcome to another episode with Cooking with Rand. Today I'm going to be making clam chowder, and it's an easy recipe, but it's probably one of the best you'll ever have. I've done some prep work, and what I've done is I've diced up some celery, about a cup. I'm going to put that in. And about a cup of onions, diced. I overuse a little bit because I like a taste of vegetables in every bite. I've got one baking potato. Now what I use is bumblebee clams. And I really like that brand. You can use whatever you want. But I'm not going to add the clams themselves. I'm just going to add the juice to the vegetables right now. And I'm going to set the clams aside for later. And again, that's 2 cans. That one's not as easy to get off. Hold on, I didn't cut it all the way through, it looks like. Set that aside. Okay, I've turned on my stovetops, and we talked about this last time, but I do not like electric stoves. We're going to repipe in here for some gas and get a gas stove. Just my personal preference. Now, once I've added the clam juice, to my vegetables, I'm going to add enough water to completely cover the vegetables. So not a lot of water, but enough to cover them. And I'm going to turn it to about medium heat and let that cook. Now, on my other pan, I'm going to make the roux, and that's going to be with 3/4 of a cup of butter, let that get hot. I need to invest in a cameraman, somebody who can hold a camera up at an angle because I don't have anywhere to do that. So you can see what I'm doing in here, but I don't. Either that or get some clear pans, I guess. But the butter is melting. While that continues melting, I am going to grab some Tabasco sauce. John and I like heat in our clam chowder. And I, at the end, will add a little bit of that while I'm thinking about it. Let's get it out. Alright, so the butter's melted. Now, I'm going to add 3/4 cup of flour. Gently. Slowly. When you're making a roux, there's nothing fast about adding your ingredients. Make sure that you take your time so you don't get lumpy and You know, so it all thickens up nicely. Nice and creamy. Now that that's all infused together, I will add a quart of half and half. And the same thing with this, just add it really slowly, mix as you go. Somebody told me once that the making really made them nervous. It doesn't have to. It's easy. The trick, I think, for most people is just take it slow. Don't add flour after you get your paste done. Later on, you know, some people wanted to add it. It will come out all lumpy, so don't do that. Get it the nice consistency that you want at the get-go. Really stir that up. Well, that's, of course, you don't want to burn your roux. That's really important, and so you want to keep an eye on it. But you do need to kind of watch your vegetables at the same time. The vegetables now, I'm going to let them simmer here, cook for about 20 minutes. And so while that's doing that, I have plenty of time to make a nice roux. You want those vegetables to be nice and creamy. They're nice and soft, not creamy. As I'm looking at my half and half creaming up here. I'm going to get a whip and just kind of whip down a little bit. Cooking should not be a nightmare. I love to cook. It reduces a lot of stress for me individually, and I think it's fun and I'm creative with it. I like to be creative with anything that I do. Alright, so I've got a nice cream here. I'm going to let that go and stir this. Maybe turn the vegetables down just a titch. Bring this back on and add the rest of the half and half. But like I say, cooking, I can be as creative as I want. And I really like that. I'm not a precise cook when it comes to cooking. When it comes to baking, I am, because baking you need to make sure that your liquid level always is, what it needs to be. So if you take a liquid out, you need to add another liquid. Or if you add a more dry ingredient, you've got to make up with adding the liquid as well. Well, I like to bake as well as I like to cook. Just take your time and stir that roux around, let it get broken down. So now it's looking a lot better. So again, you're going to melt your butter first, then add your flour, stir it around so it's not gumpy and, but a nice consistency, and then you're going to slowly add your half and half. You want a really nice consistency. Okay. Now I'm going to add some pepper. You can add as much pepper as you want. I'm going to add a little bit more than a teaspoon. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt. I watch my salt intake, and I'm not really a fan of salt anyway, but recipes do have to have salt in them. And I just don't over salt anything. Okay, my vegetables are starting to break down. Now for my sake and John's sake, I'm going to add some Tabasco. Now I've had some colon issues. I have diverticulitis that flares up every once in a while, and some other colon issues. So I, over the last few years, really am careful about the heat, but we still do like the heat. I'm going to add just a little bit. John would prefer more, but he can add that at the table. Or if you don't like heat, you don't add any. And if your guests would like some, give them that option at your table. But it does add a nice flavor to the clam chowder. Alright. Now, at this point, I'm going to add the clams to my vegetables. This recipe is really easy. 2 cans of bumblebee clams, 1 cup of onions, and 1 cup of celery, and 1 baking size potato chopped. You're going to add the clam juice to the vegetables again. I'm just going over what I've done. And then you're going to add enough water to cover the vegetables so that they can saute and break down and get soft. Then you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of butter to another pan. After that melts, you're going to add 3/4 of a cup of flour and let that stir that up. And then you're going to add 1 quart of half and half. Once your vegetables get cooked down, you're going to add your clams. And then once your roux is ready to go, and here's that roux. See how nice that is? Then you're going to add that to your vegetables. The roux has to be just right. The roux is going to make or break this recipe. Clean that out of there. Turn off my stove top on that side. Stir all that luscious cream into the vegetable pot. It looks wonderful. I guarantee you'll love this recipe. It makes a wonderful clam chowder. And today here in Areola, Colorado, where we live in a little small town called Areola, Colorado, and it's about 15 miles north of Cortez. We live on a ranch. It's called the Starry Nights Ranch, the J&R for John, my husband and I. John and Rand's J&R Starry Nights Ranch. And we've been here a year. And we love it. But today it's really bitterly cold outside. The snow is blowing hard. It snowed this morning. We've got about between 5 and 6 feet out there. Alright, I know you can't see this very well, but hopefully this will help. See the consistency of it? It's ready. So I'm going to put it on the table and call John in for lunch. And I will serve it with some club crackers, and it'll be great. Until next time, I'll see you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.